All right, let's go on to story number 6. Now, I don't recall from, when you and I used to hang out back in the day. Are you much of a sports guy? Like, do you ever follow, any major sports or anything at all?
Not WWE. I'm a big WWE. I'm gonna say it to everyone. I fell out of it. I didn't watch it for a while. I'm back. I feel like I don't know. Vince is doing something. WWE is good again. So that's about it. I don't really follow a lot of sports though.
Okay, so have you ever, even if you're not a regular follower, have you ever watched bicycle races, like the Tour de France,
Yeah,
anything like
totally.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a big race in Italy, and it's called the Giro d'Italia, and it's a multi-stage race. And the total prize fund for this race is 1.5 million euros. Like, it's a pretty significant European race. There's a
Nice.
cyclist from Africa. His name is Biniam Germain, and he won a stage of this race, which is like a pretty big deal. And he was the first Black African to ever win a stage on a Grand Tour race. So it was a pretty big situation. Unfortunately, though, his celebration turned into injury. Any idea what happened to him?
He had an insult to injury. Um, his celebration. He got. I always see these videos of these people who like stand on their bike seat and they're like carrying groceries and that sort of stuff. So maybe I don't know. He picked up some fans and he's celebrating on the seat of his bike. I don't know.
He opened a bottle of champagne right there on the podium, and the cork hit him in the eye. Joel, do you got the picture or the video? Watch this. He's celebrating. He won the stage. And let's open the bottle up. Okay, this is fantastic. Congrats. And
Oh,
there we go. There we
oh,
go. Now,
oh
he was a
man.
good sport about it. He was a good sport about it. He continued celebrating. Unfortunately, after that celebration, he was rushed to hospital. He suffered a
Yeah.
hemorrhage in the eye, and he was forced to withdraw from the race.
No.
So he went from
Really?
winning a stage to withdrawing because of his champagne celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't
That's
that
too
unbelievable?
bad. The worst part is he missed the spout of the picture on the right here. He's
Right.
covering his eye. He missed the best part. I think that's the worst
Right, right,
tragedy
right.
in this. No, honestly, that's sad. That's really sad. It's too bad because he did. He's just trying to celebrate something that he's first time. First, he said
Yes,
first Black African
that's right.
to win
Yep.
this.
So let me
Good on
ask
him. Good
you,
on him.
in your pro wrestling days, did you ever suffer any kind of an injury completely accidentally?
I was very lucky not to ever be seriously injured. Okay, so I have this scar. I don't know if you can see it here. So that I got that from the Notorious TID. I don't know if you remember, Tid.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, yeah. We were in Summerside, PEI. We used to do this road tour out to the East Coast, and I'm gonna drop a name here because back then Bobby Roode was used to wrestle in our area, and we 7 of us got in a 7-seater van. Bobby was there. There was a couple other guys, and we all
He
went down
stole
the
my
road.
Jim Duggan 2x4, by the way.
Who Bobby Roode?
Yes, yes, he did.
Okay, wait, that's a story too. I want to hear that. But I'll tell you about the scar. So we're out in the East Coast, and I'm in a triple threat hardcore match, and I get hit in the head with a garbage can lid. And Tid has it's just the way it hit. The handle cut me, and this is hardway juice. I did not blade
Hmm.
here, and half my face was covered in blood. My eye was burning, and in this moment where I'm thinking I'm gonna have a scar forever from this. This sucks. This kid's like, that looks so fake.
Right,
Kid,
right,
I hope
right.
you're watching, kid. That was legit. Summerside PEI, around 2000, something like that.
No
99.
ketchup packets.
No ketchup packets. This is
Yeah.
legit.
Amazing. All right, time for story number 3, reported by the Post Bulletin and K Rock 96.9 FM. Have you ever witnessed or been a part of an embarrassing car accident? And I'm sure doing, independent wrestling shows in small towns, you've probably seen something.
Yeah. Okay. So I did a show up in Kearney, way up north. It's near North Bay, I guess. And on the way back, I hit a deer. And it was the only, I've never hit a deer before. And I was just in shock. And so I was going, the limit's 100, I think, or maybe it was 80.
Kilometers
I
an
was,
hour? Yep.
yeah, kilometers an hour. I was going half the speed because I was just in shock. And Tyrant was there,
Wow.
and he's like, Tyrant was there, and Scoot,
Chase.
Scott Chase was there. Yeah, Scott Dawson, different Scott. And yeah, the cops stopped me because I was driving too slow. And I said, I hit a deer, and I showed him the blood and the fur. He's like, okay, well, pick it up. Let's go.
Wow. Did the deer die? Like, did you hit it really hard?
Oh, dude, I was in such shock, I didn't stop. I just didn't
Oh,
stop. Can I tell you one more? Maybe this is the story I should tell you instead. I was working at the New VR. My first job in TV was a news station, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, is coming, and they know that I'm a huge fan. So they assigned me, I'm going to be Ted DiBiase's cameraman all day on this news show. So it's winter, and I'm rushing to get to work, and I'm so excited, but there's black ice everywhere. And so I spin out, and I hit the guardrail twice and totaled my car. And while the car's still spinning, I'm reaching for my phone to call work and be like, look, can't make it. I've still to this day never met Ted DiBiase, and I was supposed to work with him that day. So that's my car accident story.
fascinating, fascinating. Well, there's a 53-year-old woman, and she had been spotted on several occasions driving around yelling at people with a megaphone. I think this is in Rochester, Minnesota, I believe. Do you have one of those videos, Joel? There was a video on one of the news sites showing her using her megaphone, annoying people. There she is right there. Got the window down. She's yelling at people using the megaphone. Yeah. I took the audio off so I could talk over, but you get the sense for what the heck she was doing.
Yeah.
The police were aware of her, but they decided not to do anything because they don't pursue vehicles unless the person is driving in a reckless manner. And so they wouldn't really do anything. But on one occasion, an officer decided to activate his lights and siren in an effort to get her to move on.
Okay.
So she was bothering people with the megaphone. He turned on the lights. When she saw him turn on the lights, she yelled out in the megaphone, "Oh, look, I'm getting pulled over." What happened next, Germain Wilson?
The megaphone makes me think of Jimmy Hart. So I feel like, I don't know, the Mountie showed up or something to help her out of the situation.
In Rochester, Minnesota.
I mean, who knows what the Mount's doing these days? His jurisdiction is far and wide.
So she floored it, motored through a barricade, and landed in wet cement. Joel, you got the picture?
Wet cement.
Look at that, Germain.
Wow. That is stellar. Look how long the tire tracks are.
Yeah, and she ain't getting out of there. She's not getting out of there. Look at that. Look at how she pushed it all out of the way.
Oh,
look at that.
That's amazing.
So she was taken into custody. She's facing 2 counts, fleeing police in a motor vehicle, 1 count of first-degree damage to property, and having no insurance because, of course, she didn't have any insurance. And so let me ask you this. As a pro wrestler, do you have any memorable moments of facing abuse from fans the way that this woman, she was using a megaphone, kind of abusing the other drivers? Do you have any memorable fan experiences?
Wow, this is a good question. Abusive fans. So shows are very different, I found. You can have shows that are family oriented where there's lots of kids involved, and there's bar shows where it's more teenagers and they get drunk and that kind of thing. And my character appealed to kids very, very much, but sometimes the bar shows, I had a harder time winning them over. And so I remember getting razzed a lot at those bar shows about how much I sucked and how hard I had to try to win them over. And just really, you know me, I used to fly over the top rope and do all those dives. By the end of a match, I always won them over. But man, fans can be rough. When they don't like you, look out. You got to fight through it, battle through it, and win them over.
Do you remember when you screwed me over a giant ladder?
Oh, yeah.
So I was promoting a show at a nightclub, and they had a giant, this thing must have been a 20-foot ladder.
Oh my gosh, you told us so many times.
They had a giant ladder that they used for stuff they had on the ceiling, and the promoter or the owner of the place told me, don't touch the ladder. They had the ladder at the back of the bar, and he said, don't touch that ladder. It's very delicate. Don't touch that ladder. We had a ladder match, and so I went and got a bunch of ladders, and we sent them up around the ring, and I told the locker room, there's a big ladder in the back. Don't touch that big ladder.
You did.
And what did Germain Wilson, JQ Public, do as I'm standing there watching? He went over, and I don't know if Reggie or somebody was with you. He went over and grabbed the big ladder, and as soon as he did, I thought, this is not going to end well.
I didn't think it was going to go that badly. I really didn't. I was like, it's the big ladder. It's a ladder match. You got to grab the big ladder. In the moment, it just happened, and it was wrong of us to do.
So the ladder broke, and the guy ended up confiscating all my ladders as repayment. Because we left for the night and I didn't have the means to get the ladders out of there that night. So we were going to come back a day or two later and get the ladders. And the guy basically called me and said, you owe me whatever it was for that big ladder. And until you pay it, I'm confiscating all these other ladders. And so I kind of weighed my options and I said, you can just keep those ladders. That's what I did.
You know, people don't know indie wrestling. Like back then, I kind of wanted to keep it all secret. But now, looking back, indie wrestling is not like being in the WWE. I remember going to a town and going to Staples Business Depot. This really happened, and buying a $50 table so that I could go through a table that night because I wanted.
I think I was with you. That was for Billy Boogie.
Yeah. I was like, you know, man, I really want to do a table bump. They're not supplying a table. I'm gonna buy my own table and just do it.
I remember.
Yeah. Indie wrestling is I don't know. It's passion. You do it because you want to do it.
100%. Yep. Oh, the memories.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. Otherwise, we'll start posting spoilers about your favorite new movies.